We shall start now. Om Adi Shankaracharya Dhimate Advaita Shaktaye Namostadvaita Siddhanta Sthapanopatya Murtaye Shri Harim Paramanandam Upadeshtaramishwaram Vyapakam Sarvalokanam Karanam Tam Namamyaham Aparokṣānubhūti Prochyate Moksha Siddhaye Saddhireva Prayatnena Vikshaniya Muhurmuhu. So in the last class, we had ended the last class with the 88th shloka, that is, Sarvam Atmataya Jnatam Jagat Stavara Jangamam Abhavat Sarvabhavanam Dehasya Cha Atmata Kutaha. So what it means is, when a person comes to the realization that everything is Atman alone, what the whole world consisting of the moving and the unmoving all beings, the whole world is nothing but Atman. So when that kind of realization happens, then the world becomes mithya. That is, for him, it is no longer existent at all in all the three periods. So when that such is the case, how can a person take the body to be the Atman? So that is the teaching in the 88th shloka. So in the 89th shloka now, a new topic is going to be introduced here, which is not expounded or admitted in the Prasthanatraya Bhashya. So in the 89th shloka, Atmanam Satatam Jananne Kalam Naya Mahadyute Prarabdham Akilam Bunjan Na Udvegam Kartumarkasi. So the advice to the aspirant who will become a jnani sooner or later, Atmanam Satatam Janan, always be rooted in the Atman, Kalam Naya Mahadyute. So you have to spend your time, that is to while away the remaining years of your life after realization by keeping yourself rooted in the Atman. Prarabdham Akilam Bunjanne Na Udvegam Kartumarhasi. So whatever Prarabdha brings to you, joy or sorrow, whatever it is all happening in the body-mind level itself alone, but not in the Atman level. So you remain yourself, or you fix yourself in the Atman and be a witness to whatever happens in the body-mind complex, which is a result, which comes as a result of the Prarabdha Karma, which is of course a result of course one's own past punya and papa deeds. So that is the teaching in this shloka. So here the Acharya gives a very lengthy comment here. Nanu jnaninaha nishprapanchatmataya mama kim syat brahmanya bhojanena anyaha na tripyati iti chet ataha. So the objection here is, okay, let the jnani realize the whole world to be mithya and there is no real world at all, and he is the sole entity in the creation. In fact, creation itself is not there. So the sole real entity is the Atman. Let him be with that realization. What is going to happen to me? How does it benefit me? So there is a question. For this, he is giving an example. Brahmanya bhojanena na anyaha tripyati. So Brahmanya bhojana is a food that is a very special food that is offered to a very specially invited guest. So for such a person, that kind of a bhojana will be there. For other persons who are not in that list, it's not going to have any benefit at all for them. So Brahmanya bhojanena anyaha tripyati iti chet. So others are not going to be benefited by it. Chet aha ataha atmanam iti. So bho mahadyute Kamadi parabhavena swahita sadhana unmukastvam atmanam pratyagabhinnam satatam asupti ramrti paryantam jananne vedanta vakyehi vicharayanne kalam naya atikramasva. So the advice to a person who is going to ask such a question is Kamadi parabhavena, that is without giving occasion to desire, etc. Adipadena, anger, greed, etc. All those things will come. So without giving occasion to any of them, swahita sadhana unmukastvam. Whatever you are going to do, will be, you direct them to benefit yourself. That is, you keep your benefit or your ultimate emancipation as the highest goal, topmost priority, and whatever you do mentally, physically, and verbally, all those actions, let them be directed at the at your benefit. That is your benefit in the sense, the ultimate benefit for a person is the realization of the self and getting released from the bondage. So that should be your aim. Atmanam pratyagabhinnam satatam asukti ramriti paryantam. That is, you realize yourself as not different from Brahman, and this kind of thought has to be there always without any break. And the asuktim amrita paryantam, dawn, when a person comes out of sleep, the world is going to present itself to him. And definitely when the world is presenting itself to him, there will be interaction with the world, and interaction will definitely bring about anger. Be very watchful about it, ward off those things. So by how do you do that? For that, he says, Vedanta Vakyehi Vicharayanne. So your soul aim is to be your soul, your input, your capital is this Vedanta Vakya. So with that, you have to keep yourself engaged completely from early morning till night. And also each day is going to be the same type. So every day there is going to be a world which is going to be presenting, which will present itself to you, both in waking and in dream state. But in deep sleep state alone, the world will not be there for you. And this is going to be there till the last day of your life. So, Asukte Ramrite Kalam. There is a very nice sloka which goes like this. Dadya na avasaram kinchit kamadina managapi asukte ramrite kalam nayad vedanta chintaya. So that is the shloka his Vidyaranya Swami is having in mind when he says this. So that shloka says, Dadhyana avasaram kinchit kamadina managapi. Never ever give any occasion to the Arishad Vargas, that is the Kama, Krodha, Lobha, Moha, Mada, Matsarya, and all that. And that is not for one day. It has to be there till your alertness in this area has to be there till the last breath, that is the last day. So each day from the morning till you go to sleep, this has to be your exercise, and that exercise will be there. You'll have to continue till the last breath. That is till the last day of your life. So asuptya ramrite kalam nayad Vedanta chintaya. And how are you going to spend your time? By Vedanta chinta. And Vedanta chinta, Bhagavad has given that very nice Yati Panchakam, which is also called Kaupina Panchakam. Vedanta Vakyeshu Sada Ramantaha Dikshanna Matrena Sushtimantaha Vishokavantaha Karnikavantaha Kopinavantak Kalu Bhagyavantaha. So that whole 5 shlokas are very nice there. Each shloka is giving an instruction to the Jnani or the aspirant, both ways. And each shloka gives him Vedantic truths are given to him. So there, one shloka is Swananda Bhave Paritushtimantaha Atmanam Atma Swananda Bhave Paritushtimantaha. So in that shloka, Aharnisham Atma So in that has to be involved in this. He has to immerse himself in that, and beyond that, there is nothing else for him to do, and nothing else for him to seek also. So this is how he has to spend his time. And so all these two stotras are there in this comment of Vidyaranya Swami. Asukti mriti paryantam jananne Vedanta Vakyehi Vicharayanne Kalam Naya Atikramaswa. Swananda Bhave Paritushtimantaha Samshanta Sarvendriya Vrittimantaha. So all his indriyas, all the sense organs, both sense organs and motor organs, normally what they will do without any control, that he has to control. So they would have ceased to act in a way in which he won't allow them to act. So when they are not being controlled, they will act in a particular way. They will act in a default way, which will be outward turned only, like what has been stated in the Kathopanishad. Paranchikani Vetrinat Swayambhohu Parang Pashyati na Antaratman Tasmat Parang Pashyati na Antaratman. So that way the sense organs and motor organs and the mind, they are all made in such a way as to be outward turned only. But when a person starts watching them, then they will start slowly start obeying him. But even then, he should never let go the watchful exercise, because the indriyas and all that, they are all very, very powerful. That is stated in the Gita also. Indriyani pramatini aranti prasabham manaha. Even for a person who is so very watchful, if he is not alert, then the indriyas will give him a bite. So that is the way they behave. So he has to be very careful. Kalam naya atikramasva. Vichara sadhya jnananantaram cha akhilam prarabdham charmadeha arambakam karma bhunjanne sukha dukha abhasa anubhavena kshapayanne samudvegam kartum na arhasi upadeshaha. So the advice to this aspirant who will become a jnani, and for a jnani for a person who has already become a jnani, but he is not very, very well established. For both these persons, this will be the advice. So here says Vichara sadhana sadhya jnana nantaram. So Vichara is Shravana Manana Nidhyasana. That will give a person Aparoksha jnana if it is rightly done. Sadhya jnana nantaram. After attaining this Aparoksha jnana, cha akilam prarabdham charamadeha arambakam. So the prarabdha is the one which has given birth to this last body. Charamadeha is the last body in which he has realized the Atman, and which will be his final embodied state. Charamadeha arambakam karma bhunjan. The prarabdha karma will give either joy or sorrow. So you have to exhaust the prarabdha only by experiencing them. There is no other way at all. Karma bhunjanne sukha dukkha abhasa anubhavena. So here also he introduces a very nice aspect of Vedanta. So even for an ignorant person, the sukha and dukkha that comes to him is actually abhasa. That is, it's not real at all. But the ignorant person doesn't know that it is unreal. It is only because of ajnana or avidya or maya this is happening. It is only a show, but he doesn't know that. He takes them to be real, and then he suffers or gets related. But that is called samsara. Whereas for a person who has realized the Atman, he realizes the Atman as the sole real vastu, and the anatman, that is the body mind complex and the world, to be mithya. For such a person, the joy and sorrow that the prarabdha will bring will be only an appearance. So that's what he says. Sukha dukkha abhasam anubhavena. Abhasa means it's only an appearance. So by exhausting them, by experiencing them, so there also the experiencing will happen only the body mind complex level, but the jnani himself will be identifying constantly with the Atman. So even though there's only one entity in which the Atman is also there, the Sakshi Swarupam, and also the body mind complex, but then he will shift his identification from the body mind complex to the Atman. He try his best to keep that identification alive and vibrant. If he is not alert, then he will fall back into the body mind complex identification, and the suffering will. So sukha dukkha abhasa kshapayan is by exhausting them. Samudvegam kartum na arhasi. Samudvega is feeling of annoyance, or being dejected because, oh, this kind of prarabdha is biting me or eating me off, or it is giving me a huge beating and all that. That kind of reaction from him is not warranted at all. So that's what he na kartum arhasi. Then in the next shloka onwards, the concept of prarabdha is taken up for a small vichara. And here, the 2-3 shlokas here will be the Vedantic, ultimate Vedantic view that the concept of prarabdha itself is not ultimately real. So that itself is faulty. So that fault is going to be demonstrated in these shlokas. Utpanne pyatma vijnane prarabdham naiva muncha yat shruyate shastre tan nirakriyate aduna. So now he says, he is making a very bold declaration that the Vedanta position is first stated, and then he states that this statement is going to be, this concept or this idea or this acceptance in the Shastra is going to be refuted by me. He says he will refute that idea. Utpannepi Atma Vijnane. Even after a person has become Jnani, that is, he becomes self-realized. Prarabdham Naiva Munchati. The Prarabdha is not going to leave him free. It's not going to leave him. It is going to give its quota of happiness and misery. Naiva Munchati iti yat shruyate shastre. What is this kind of thing is being spoken of in the Shastra, Vedanta Shastra, that nirakriyate aduna. That is going to be refuted now. So for that, the commentary also very elaborate. Vasutastu prarabdhameva nasti kutaha bhogaha bhogabhave kutaha udvega karanam tadabhave cha kutastaram tan nisheda upadeshaha iti Vedanta Siddhanta rahasyam vaktum pratijanate acharyaha utpannaha iti. So whatever has been stated in the previous sloka is now being restated and said that state that that what has been stated in the previous sloka is not the actual position of the Vedanta. So vastutastu prarabdhameva nasti. In the final analysis, prarabdha itself is not there. That concept of prarabdha itself is not real. Kuto bhogaha. So when such is the case, where is the occasion for the prarabdha bhoga? That is the experiencing of prarabdha. That is not going to be there. Bhoga abhave kutaha udvega karanam. When that bhoga itself is not there, that is when the experiencing of the joy and sorrow which prarabdha brings, when that itself is not going to happen, where is there going to be any occasion for dejection or being angry with the prarabdha or with the world or with the people and all that? That itself is not going to be there. Tadabhavecha kutastaram tan nisheda upadeshaha. When that itself is not, when even the occasion for the person reacting like this is not going to be there, where is the need for, or where is the place for any advice to control any of those tendencies in him, which will make him react to the prarabdha? So even that upadesha is also not meaningful at all. It's actually meaningless. Iti Vedanta Siddhanta Rahasyam. So this is the Vedanta Siddhanta Rahasyam. This is the secret of Vedanta Siddhanta. What that really prarabdha, the concept of prarabdha is not real. That is the Rahasyam of the Vedanta. Vaktum pratijanate acharyaha. So now the declaration is being made. Utpannaiti. Atra yam prakriya. So that is being explained by the commentary now. Jagat pratitihi tridha. The world experience or the world perception is of three types: Shastriya, Laukiki, Anubhaviki, Chariti. Shastriya, that is the world perception, is given three angles. So one is Shastriya angle, another is Laukika angle, and another is Anubhaviki angle. Anubhaviki angle is the one experiential angle. Laukiki angle is the one which is uninformed, ignorant perception. Shastriya perception is the right perception. And then he goes on to say, Tatra Adya Paramarthiki, Dvitiya Aparamarthiki, Tritiya tu Pratibhasiki. So the first one, that is Shastriya world perception, is Paramarthiki. So Paramarthiki is that is the actual position of the Shastra. We will explain all that. Dvitiya Aparamarthiki, that is a Laukiki perception, is Aparamarthiki. It is not, it is uninformed one. It is the ignorance-based perception. Tritiya tu Pratibhasiki, that is the Anubhaviki. The third one that is stated as Anubhaviki is Pratibhasiki. That is that the experience of this prarabdha, the experience of the world, is actually Pratibhasiki. That is, it is only an appearance. It is not real. So Tasam Nivrittistu, I will just explain all this again. Tasam Nivrittistu Kramat Vedanta Shravanadi Traya. That is the first one. That is the Paramarthiki Jagat Pratitihi will go through the means of Shravana Manana Nididhyasana. Dvitiya Aparamarthiki. So that Aparamarthiki Jagat Pratitihi, that is called Laukiki in the first instance, will come to an end through Sakshatkara of the Atman. Sakshatkara is the direct realization of the Atman. And the third one, that is Anubhaviki, which has been stated as Pratibhasiki, will come to an end only by Prarabdha Kshaya. That is, by experiencing the prarabdha and exhausting it, the pratibhasiki will come to an end. So here, and there is no other way than these three methods to bring bring to an end these three types of perceptions. So Shastriya perception is what is called stated as Vedanta Shravanadi Traya, is actually the world, the creation, the world, and the how it comes about, and how it how the jivas are interacting with, how the jivas are affected by the world, and what is the concept of Ishvara, and all those things are stated in the Shastra. So the Shastra is giving a thesis for to enable us to look at the world from a new angle. That new angle is the Shastraic angle. We will be looking at the world in a very different angle without knowing what it is really. But the Shastra gives us a method by which we can transcend the world experience. So that is called Shastriya. So the Shastriya Vedanta Shastra teaches how the world comes into being through Brahman and all that, and how it sustains the jivas and all that. So this kind of explanation of the world is called Shastriya. So Shastriya, so this perception, Shastriya perception, which is called Paramarthika. So that is the real truth about the world. So so that is, and that is that kind of perception will go through Vedanta Shravana, etc. Then the Laukiki Pratiti, that is called Aparamarthiki. That is how the worldly people who are ignorant, who are not exposed to the Shastra, how they will be looking at the world, how they will be experiencing the world. That will go only by Sakshatkara. So that will go only, that is the realization of the Atman will bring about the destruction of the avidya, and the product of the avidya, that is the world and the body-mind complex. So the second type, that is Laukiki, which is called Aparamarthiki, that will come to an end through Sakshatkara of the Atman. The third one, that is Anubhaviki, that is experiencing the Sukha, Dukkha and all that. That is actually called Bhoga. So Bhoga is actually Sukha, Dukkha, Sakshatkara. Sakshatkara means it is direct realization of the Sukha and Dukkha. That is, a person is directly experiencing them. That is called Anubhaviki, and that will go, and that is actually Pratibhasiki, because from the Jnani's point of view, that is a person who has had the Sakshatkara, for him, it will be only a show. So it will be unreal only, actually. For him, he realizes that it is unreal. So that is why it is called Pratibhasiki. And that will go, it will keep appearing to him. But then it will continue to be there till the Prarabdha ends. That is, till his body falls. So till then, he will be seeing that show. He cannot help seeing that show. But then he will realize, he will see that show, he will continue to see that show with the realization that it is not real. Just like we see a movie with the realization that it's only a movie. But sometimes what happens, people who get so involved that they forget for a moment that it is a movie, then they start weeping also, and feeling fear and things like that when some such sequences come in the movie. So even though they would have taken the ticket and gone to the movie hall with the clear understanding that they are going to watch a movie which is only a screen, which is only a show, but still, as the movie develops and the story develops and all that, they will become so involved that they will forget their real with what conclusion, or with what determination they had come, that they will forget, and they will start identifying with the characters of the movie and all that, and then they will also laugh and cry with the characters. So that happens. So here he says that is actually Pratibhasiki from the Jnani's point of view, and he will have to exhaust that by simply experiencing it, or simply viewing it as unreal. So Prarabdha Kshayehi Bhavati Nanyatha iti. Tatra iyam pratigna Anyapratiti Abhiprayena iti Anyapratiti Pratigna Anyapratiti Abhiprayena iti Gnatavyam. So this way of putting up, that is, this way of stating these three types of perceptions and the remedy for these three types of perceptions of the world is actually stated from the for the ignorant people, that is, for the people who are ignorant. That's what he says now. So tatra iyam pratigna Anyapratiti Abhiprayaniti Gnatavyam Shokartastu Sputa eva. So here, what now he has stated in this 91st shloka, 90th shloka, Utpannepi Atmavijnane Prarabdham Naiva Munchati. That is actually stated from the ignorant people's point of view. So now in the next shloka, 91st shloka, that the concept of Prarabdham is subjected to analysis, and it will be examined, and its faults will be that the faulty idea will be brought to light, and then the very concept of Prarabdha will be refuted. Finally, it will be stated to be unacceptable at all from the ultimate standpoint of view. So here, Dehadi Tattvajnanodayad urdhvam Prarabdham naiva vidyate. Dehadinam asatyatvat yatha swapno vibodhataha. So Tattvajnanodaya urdhvam, after the realization of the self, that is after the realization of Brahman or self-realization, Prarabdham naiva vidyate. The very Prarabdha itself will no longer be there at all. It won't exist at all. Dehadinam asatyatvat. Why? Because the realization comes to him that the body-mind complex is mithya, and the world outside, Shabda Sparsha Rupa Rasa Gandha, that world also is mithya. So Dehadinam asatyatvat, Prarabdha itself will not be there. Just like yatha swapno vibodhataha, just like the whole dream, which contained so many emotions and all that, which was seen to be real while experiencing it, just upon waking up, it will be known to be unreal. The whole thing will be relegated to the category of mithya or unreal. So that will be realized as to be unreal the moment a person wakes up. So in the same way, the whole world will be discarded as unreal, because this Prarabdha concept itself will not be there. So the body-mind complex itself is not going to be real. So this Prarabdha is also not going to be there at all. So that is the statement in the 91st shloka. So for that, the Acharya says in the commentary, Jnanena sarva vyavahara karana ajnana nivrittau prarabdha bhavaha iti shlokarthaha. So when the ignorance has been, the root ignorance has been dispelled through realization or knowledge, and all the effects of that root ignorance also goes as falls into they fall into the category of unreality or mithya category. Nivrittau prarabdha abhavaha iti shlokarthaha. Prarabdha itself is not going to be there at all. That is the meaning of the shloka. For this, there is not much explanation required. So we will just look at the 92nd shloka and then take up the commentary in the next class. We will just read the shloka and give the overall meaning of it. The 92nd shloka is Karma Janmantariyam Yate Prarabdhamiti Kirtitam Tattu Janmantara Abhavat Pumsaha Naiva Asti Karhichite. So, what is Prarabdha Karma? Janmantariyam Karma, that is the karma done in the previous birth, in earlier births, not just the previous birth, not just the immediately previous birth, in all the previous births, whatever karma has been done, that karma which has now started giving its fruit, that is called Prarabdha Karma. So what was Sanchita Karma now becomes Prarabdha Karma when this body is created by Ishvara or by Prakriti, whatever. So the body is created only with a view to experience the old Sanchita Karma, now which has become rectified and started giving him the Sukha and Dukkha Anubhava in this birth. So that is called Prarabdha. So he says now in this sloka, Karma Janmantariyam yat Prarabdhamiti Kirtitam Tatto Janmantara Bhavat Pumsaha Naivasti Karchit. See here now, he is speaking from the point of view of the Jnani. So when the Jnani realizes the truth, what will be the content of that realization? That has been explained by Bhagavad Pada in the Sutra Bhashya that we have seen so many times. And there is nothing wrong in looking at it again, going over it again. Purvasiddha kartritva bhoktritva viparitam hi trishvapi kaleshu kartritva bhoktritva akartritva bhoktritva brahma ahamiti. That is the realization. So before this realization, he had the idea that he was a karta bhokta and he was a samsari. But now after this realization, he realizes that he has been the akarta abhokta Brahman before also. So even when he thought he was a karta bhokta, he actually is not a karta bhokta. So that realization he gets. So this realization of being a akarta abhokta Brahman is with retrospective effect. So even the previous births, they themselves will be relegated to the category of mithya. So there has not been any previous births at all. This birth also is not there at all. So when the previous births themselves they have not actually happened, how can there be any karma which have been generated in those previous births, and how can they become now rectifying, giving him the prarabdha karma? So that is the idea. So when the previous births themselves have not happened at all, really, where is the question of any karma that those births could have generated? So that is the idea here. So कर्म जन्मांतरीयं यत् प्रारब्धमिति कीर्तितं तत्तु जन्मांतर अभावात् पुंसः नैव अस्ति कर्हिचित्. So for the janmas themselves have not happened, so the prarabdha karma itself has not been there at all, because janma is not there. So that is the crux of this logic. So we will see the commentary and all that from the next class onwards, and go further with the declare that this idea of prarabdha itself is not really real. It's only as a via media given to the ajnanis, but not from the jnanis point of view. So we will end this session here. Shastram Shariramimamsa Devastu Parameshwaraha Acharya Shankaracharya Santume Janmani Shri Harim Paramanandam Padeshtarameshwaram Vyapakam Sarvalokanam Kavarnam Tam Namamyaham Aparokṣānubhūti Prochate Moksha Siddhaye Sadbhireva Prayatnena Vikshaniya Muhurmuhu Vidya Vinaya Sampannam Vetaragam Vivekinam Vande Vedanta Tattvagnam Vidushekara Bharati Om Tat Sat.